They say money is the root of all evil. I never believed that until I discovered my wife and nephew were planning to kill me for my inheritance. My name is Robert, I'm 55 years old, and this is the story of how I narrowly escaped murder and sent 2 people I love to prison. I'm a successful businessman. I built my company from nothing over 30 years, and by the time this story takes place, I was worth about $15 million. Not billionaire money, but enough to live very comfortably. My wife Elena and I had been married for 12 years. It was my second marriage, her first. We had no children together, though I had 2 grown kids from my first marriage. My nephew Derek was 28. He was my late brother's son, and I'd always felt responsible for him. His father, my brother Tom, died when Derek was 15. Heart attack. No life insurance. Their family struggled financially after that, so I stepped in, paid for Derek's college, got him a job at my company, helped him buy his first car. I thought I was being a good uncle, helping family. I had no idea I was raising a snake. It seemed like genuine concern at the time. Looking back, it was probably part of their plan. They wanted to monitor my sleep patterns, know when I was truly unconscious, when I'd be vulnerable. But here's the ironic part. I'd set up the baby monitor system, but I'd also connected it to my phone. It was one of those smart monitors with an app. I could check on myself from anywhere, see if I was snoring too loudly, that kind of thing. That Tuesday, I was supposed to be at a business dinner, a potential client meeting that would run late. I'd told Elena I wouldn't be home until after midnight, but the meeting got canceled at the last minute. The client had a family emergency, so I headed home early, around 8 p.m. As I was driving, I opened the baby monitor app on my phone out of habit. I'd gotten used to checking it, making sure the system was working properly. And that's when I heard voices coming from our bedroom. 2 voices. Elena's and a man's. At first, I thought maybe she was watching TV. But then I heard my name, clear as day. And what came next made my blood run cold. Robert's meeting should go until midnight, Elena was saying. He'll probably have a few drinks. He always does at these dinners. He'll come home tired, take his sleep medication, and be out cold within 20 minutes. And you're sure about the dosage? A male voice. Familiar, but I couldn't immediately place it. I've been researching for months. 3 times his normal dose of sleep medication mixed with alcohol will look like an accidental overdose. The autopsy won't show anything suspicious. Middle-aged man with sleep apnea and high blood pressure? It'll look like natural causes complicated by medication. I nearly drove off the road. I had to pull over, my hands shaking so badly I couldn't steer. Was I hearing this correctly? Was my wife really planning to murder me? What about the insurance? The male voice asked. $5 million policy, Elena replied. Plus, his will leaves everything to me since his kids are already adults with their own money. The company alone is worth $10 million. We'll be set for life. We'll have to wait a few months after, the man said. Make it look like grieving widow eventually finding comfort elsewhere. Of course, I can play the devastated wife. I've been practicing. They laughed, actually laughed about murdering me. And then the man said something that made everything so much worse. Uncle Robert always was too trusting. He never suspected anything, even when we started meeting at the house during his business trips. Uncle Robert. That's when I recognized the voice. Derek. My nephew. The kid I'd helped raise. The one I'd paid for college. Given a job. Treated like a son. I sat in my car, listening to them plan my murder in detail. They discussed timing, dosage, how to make it look accidental. Elena talked about which funeral home to use, how quickly she could access the bank accounts, when to file the life insurance claim. It was so calculated, so cold. This wasn't a crime of passion. This was premeditated murder, planned over months, maybe years. I listened for about 20 minutes, recording everything on my phone. They eventually moved on to other topics, talking about where they'd travel once I was dead, what they'd do with the money. Elena wanted to buy a villa in Italy. Derek wanted a yacht. They were spending my money before they'd even killed me. Finally, I heard them leave the bedroom. I sat in my car outside my own house, trying to process what I'd just learned. Part of me wanted to burst in there and confront them, but I was smart enough to know that would be dangerous. These people were planning murder. If they knew I'd discovered their plot, they might accelerate their timeline. Might try to kill me right then and there and claim it was self-defense or an accident. No, I needed to be strategic. I needed evidence. I needed help. I drove to a hotel instead of going home. Checked in under a fake name. Paid cash. Then I sat in that hotel room and listened to the recording over and over, making sure I hadn't imagined it. But it was all there. Every damning word. "Robert, are you okay? You sound strange," he said when he heard my voice. "Martin, I need your help. Something's happened. Can we meet? Somewhere private? And don't tell anyone, including your secretary." We met at a coffee shop across town. I played him the recording. I watched his face go from confused to shocked to horrified as he listened to my wife and nephew calmly planning my murder. "This is serious, Robert. You need to go to the police. Right now." "I know, but I wanted to talk to you first. What are my legal options here?" Martin thought for a moment. "They haven't actually done anything yet. Conspiracy to commit murder is a crime, but you'd need more evidence for it to stick. Right now, you have one recording. A defense attorney could argue it was taken out of context, that they were joking, role-playing, anything. So I need more evidence. You need ironclad evidence. And you need to protect yourself. Robert, these people are dangerous. If they find out you know, you're in immediate danger." "Mr. Castellano," Agent Chen said, "what you've uncovered is a conspiracy to commit murder and insurance fraud. We need to gather more evidence, but we also need to keep you safe. Are you willing to work with us?" "What does that mean?" "It means you go home. You act normal. You pretend you don't know anything. And you wear a wire." They wanted me to record my own would-be killers, to gather enough evidence to put them away for life. It was terrifying, but I agreed. The next few days were the most surreal of my life. I went home, acted like everything was normal. Elena hugged me, asked about my business dinner, seemed concerned and loving, all while planning to murder me in my sleep. Derek came over for dinner that weekend. "Family dinner," Elena had said. He shook my hand, called me Uncle Robert, thanked me again for all I'd done for him. And the whole time, I was wearing a wire, recording everything. The FBI coached me on what to say, how to get them talking. They wanted concrete evidence, admissions, details that would be impossible to explain away in court, so I played my part. I mentioned being tired lately, having trouble sleeping. I talked about increasing my sleep medication dose. I watched Elena's eyes light up when I said this. Watched her exchange a look with Derek. "Maybe you shouldn't increase it," Elena said, playing concerned wife. "Too much medication can be dangerous." "She's right, Uncle Robert," Derek added. "You should talk to your doctor first." Such considerate family members. So worried about my health. After dinner, I excused myself to my study. The FBI had installed hidden cameras throughout the house. As I expected, Elena and Derek stayed in the kitchen, talking in low voices. "He's getting worse," Elena said. "The sleep issues. This might be our chance." "How soon?" Derek asked. "This week. He has another business dinner on Thursday. He'll come home late, tired. I'll make him a drink with his medication. Triple dose, just like we planned." "And you're sure it'll look natural?" "Positive. The autopsy will show sleep apnea, heart issues, medication in his system. Everything will look like an unfortunate accident. Wealthy, middle-aged man who worked too hard and didn't take care of his health." She had it all planned out. Even her tears at the funeral, I'm sure. I met with the FBI that night. Played them the recording. "We have enough," Agent Chen said. "We can arrest them now." "No," I said. "I want more. I want to make absolutely sure they can't talk their way out of this. Mr. Castellano, you're in danger. They're planning to act this week. Then we act first. But I want to catch them in the act. I want there to be no possible defense." Agent Rodriguez looked at me carefully. "You want to let them try? That's incredibly risky. I'll be under surveillance the whole time, right? You'll have agents watching? Then do it. Let them think they're succeeding. And then arrest them when they're in the middle of trying to kill me." It was crazy. I know it was crazy. But I was angry. I wanted them to face the full consequences of what they'd planned. Not just conspiracy. Attempted murder. The FBI, I wasn't happy, but they agreed. They'd have agents in the house, hidden. Medical personnel on standby. The moment Elena tried to give me the overdose, they'd move in. Thursday came. My supposedly important business dinner. I went, but I stayed completely sober. Not a drop of alcohol, despite what Elena expected. The FBI had arranged everything. I came home at 11, acting tired and sluggish. Elena was waiting. Concerned wife act in full effect. "Rough night?" she asked. "Exhausting. I need to sleep. Let me make you a drink. Your usual nightcap. It'll help you relax." She crushed them up, mixed them into bourbon. My usual drink. She brought it to me with a smile. "Here you go, honey. Drink up. You'll sleep like a baby." Like a baby. The irony wasn't lost on me, considering how I'd discovered their plot. "Thanks, love." I took the glass. This was it. The moment they'd been planning for months. I was supposed to drink this, go to bed, and never wake up. Natural causes. Accidental overdose. No one would suspect murder. I raised the glass to my lips. And that's when Derek walked in. They'd coordinated it, of course. He was supposed to be the alibi, the concerned nephew who'd stopped by to check on his uncle. "Just tired," I said. "Long day. You should get some rest. That drink will help," Elena added helpfully. They were both watching me, waiting for me to drink. I brought the glass closer to my mouth. "Actually," I said, lowering it, "I think I'll skip the drink tonight. My stomach's been bothering me." I saw panic flash across Elena's face. "No, honey, you should drink it. It'll help you sleep. You always sleep better with your nightcap." "I'm sure you're right," I said. "But I think I'll just take my medication and go straight to bed." "The drink has your medication in it," Elena said. "A slip. A small one, but a slip." "What?" I asked innocently. She recovered quickly. "I mean, you always take your medication with your drink. It's part of your routine." "Is it?" I looked at the glass. "That's funny. I usually take my pills separately." The room was tense. Derek was watching Elena. Elena was watching me, and I was watching both of them, knowing that federal agents were watching all of us. "Just drink it," Elena said, her voice harder now. Less concerned wife, more desperate conspirator. "Is there something in this drink, Elena?" I asked directly. "Because I heard you," I said. "Tuesday night. The baby monitor. I heard everything." The color drained from her face. Derek took a step back. "I heard you planning to murder me. I heard you discuss dosages and insurance policies and funeral arrangements. I heard everything. FBI, nobody move." Agents poured in from every direction. They'd been hidden throughout the house. Upstairs, in the basement, even in the garage. They'd heard everything through the wires I'd been wearing. Elena dropped the bourbon glass. It shattered on the hardwood floor, dark liquid spreading like blood. Derek tried to run. Made it to the front door before two agents tackled him. "Save it," Agent Chen said, reading her rights. "You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder and attempted murder." They arrested Derek too. Conspiracy to commit murder, conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and a host of other charges. The bourbon was analyzed. Triple dose of sleep medication, just like Elena had planned. Combined with alcohol and my existing sleep apnea, it likely would have killed me. The medical examiner confirmed that if I'd drunk it and gone to sleep, I probably wouldn't have woken up. The trial was 8 months later. I testified, told the whole story, played the recordings. The jury heard my wife and nephew coldly planning my murder, counting my money before I was even dead. They were both convicted. Elena got 25 years for attempted murder and conspiracy. Derek got 20 years. Both will be eligible for parole eventually, but not for a long time. The day of the sentencing, Elena tried to talk to me. The guards allowed it, though they stayed close. "I'm sorry," she said. "I never really wanted to hurt you. It was Derek's idea. He convinced me. He said you'd never know, that it would be easy money." "Don't," I said. "Don't try to blame him. I heard the recordings, Elena. You were just as involved, maybe more. We were in love," she said quietly. "Derek and I. We've been together for 3 years. We didn't know how to end things with you without losing everything. So murder was the answer?" She didn't respond to that, just looked down at her handcuffed wrists. "For what it's worth," she said, "I did love you once, in the beginning. Before the money became more important than anything else." I walked away without another word. What could I say? That I forgave her? I didn't. I never will. Derek didn't even try to apologize. Just glared at me from across the courtroom like I'd wronged him somehow. Like I was the bad guy for not dying on schedule. The aftermath was complicated. I divorced Elena, obviously. Changed my will. Removed Derek from it entirely. My real kids, the ones from my first marriage, got everything. As it should have been all along. The company thrived. Turns out I'm pretty good at business when I'm not distracted by a wife plotting my murder. But the emotional damage was extensive. How do you trust anyone after something like that? How do you let someone into your life knowing what people are capable of? I went to therapy. A lot of therapy. Worked through the trauma of knowing I'd been sleeping next to someone who wanted me dead. Someone who could kiss me goodnight while planning my murder. The thing that bothered me most wasn't even the murder plot itself. It was how long they'd been planning it. 3 years, Elena said she and Derek had been together, 3 years of lying to my face, of pretending to love me while scheming with my nephew, of playing happy family while plotting my death. How had I missed it? Were there signs I ignored? Times when they were too familiar with each other? Looks I didn't catch? I've gone over every memory from those 3 years, trying to spot the clues. And you know what? There were some. Small things. The way Derek always seemed to be around when Elena was home. How they'd sometimes exchange glances I didn't understand. The time I came home early, and they both seemed surprised, flustered. But I trusted them. Family and spouse. The two groups of people you're supposed to be able to trust completely. So I explained away anything odd. Made excuses. Convinced myself I was imagining things. That's what they count on, people like Elena and Derek. They count on your trust, your love, your inability to imagine that someone you care about could hurt you so badly. I'm seeing someone now. Her name is Patricia. She's a widow, lost her husband to cancer 5 years ago. She understands loss and betrayal, though in a different way. We're taking things slow. Very slow. And I'm okay with that. If I hadn't checked that app at exactly the right moment, I'd be dead. Elena and Derek would have gotten away with murder. They'd be living off my money, probably married by now, thinking they'd pulled off the perfect crime. Instead, they're in prison. And I'm alive, successful, and slowly learning to trust again. People ask me if I'm angry. The answer is complicated. I was furious at first. Rage like I'd never felt before. These were people I loved, who I'd helped, who I'd trusted with my life. Literally. But anger fades with time. What's left is sadness. Sadness that people can be so greedy, so selfish, that they'd kill for money. Sadness that my nephew, who I'd tried to help after his father died, turned into someone who could plot my murder. Sadness that 12 years of marriage meant so little to Elena that she could plan my death without a second thought. And wariness. I'm wary now in a way I never was before. I trust, but I verify. I love, but I protect myself. I help people, but I'm more careful about who I help and how much. Some people might say this experience made me cynical. Maybe it did, but it also made me realistic. And it made me appreciate the people in my life who are genuinely good. My kids, who were horrified by what happened, and have been incredibly supportive. My real friends, who stood by me through the trial and its aftermath. My lawyer Martin, who helped me navigate the legal system. Those relationships are more precious to me now. I don't take them for granted anymore. If there's a lesson in all of this, it's simple. Money changes people. Not everyone, but enough people that you need to be careful. $15 million was worth more to Elena and Derek than my life. Worth more than family. Worth more than any moral code. They say money is the root of all evil. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but it was true for my wife and nephew. And here's something I learned through all of this. You can't protect yourself from betrayal by being suspicious of everyone. That's no way to live. But you can protect yourself with documentation, with witnesses, with being aware of what's going on around you. That baby monitor saved my life. But so did my decision to record the evidence properly, to involve law enforcement, to not confront them directly when I first found out. If I'd burst into the bedroom that first night, accused them, who knows what would have happened. They might have convinced me I'd misheard. Or worse, they might have tried to kill me right then. Instead, I was strategic. Patient. I gathered evidence. I protected myself. And because of that, I'm here to tell this story. The company is doing better than ever. I've actually expanded. Opened 2 new locations. Turns out, almost dying gives you a new perspective on risk-taking in business. What's a risky investment compared to drinking poisoned bourbon? My kids are proud of me, not just for surviving, but for handling it the way I did. For not becoming bitter, for not letting it destroy me. My daughter said I'm the strongest person she knows. That meant more to me than she'll ever understand. I think about Elena and Derek sometimes. Wonder what they think about in prison, if they regret it, if they understand how badly they messed up. 20 and 25 years is a long time to think about your mistakes. But mostly I don't think about them at all. They made their choices. They faced the consequences. And I moved on. Life is good now. Really good. My business is thriving. I have a wonderful woman in my life who I'm building trust with gradually. My kids are happy and successful. I'm healthy, despite nearly being murdered. The inheritance plot failed. Elena and Derek got nothing but prison time. And me? I got a second chance at life. A reminder that every day is precious. That family isn't always who you're related to, but who stands by you when things get hard. If you're reading this and thinking it can't happen to you, think again. I never thought my wife and nephew would try to kill me. I trusted them completely, and that trust nearly cost me my life. So be aware. Protect yourself. Don't be paranoid, but don't be naive either. And if you ever hear something that makes you suspicious, don't ignore it. Document it. Report it. Protect yourself. Because the person planning to hurt you might be sleeping next to you right now. Might be sitting across from you at family dinners. Might be the last person you'd ever suspect. Trust, but verify. Love, but protect yourself. And never, ever assume that money won't change people. Because for some people, it changes everything. I'm alive today because of a baby monitor, good instincts, and the FBI. That's not how I expected my life to go at 55. But I'm grateful for it anyway. Elena and Derek thought they were smarter than me, thought they'd planned the perfect murder, but they forgot one thing. I didn't build a $15 million company by being stupid. I got where I am by being observant, strategic, and careful. Those same qualities saved my life. So here I am, 57 now, alive, healthy, and actually happy. Dating a wonderful woman. Running a successful business. Enjoying my kids and grandkids. Living the life Elena and Derek tried to take from me. And that, more than anything else, is the sweetest revenge.